can go also on YouTube. Okay, welcome to VPs elected to this amazing chat. So why I'm here and not Veronica, that will be delivering actually the you can hear Veronica in the back, that will be delivering actually the webinar, is because I want to introduce a bit on how we will work the process of transition, so you actually know a bit what to expect and also what you can pretend from your predecessor in the next months. I will try to be very quick, and if you have any doubts, please ask me. So how is going to work? This is a bit the timeline that we were thinking for the process. So there will be the first part of transition that will be during the next month until Planco, and there will be the strategical transition. Then there will be Planco, in which there will be a big part of the delivery of the transition, and then you will have the first part of your planning. So you will manage your, find your vision, identity, etc., and you arrive to set your goals. And then there will be the tactical transition, the one in which you're more operative, and the one in which there will start the shadowing also. So the current, the EB elect will start working properly and managing overall the areas, but VP current, EB current will still be there to support you, to help you, to see if you're doing something wrong, and to make you realize what you're doing while you were for the first time. And then there will be Winco, and in Winco we will finalize the transition with the more sales part. Then there will be the delivery of the replanning of the MC drums, so you will know the new strategies for summer peak. And then you will have the last part of planning, the more tactical one. So what are you going to do week by week in the next semester to achieve your plan? This in a very, this to give you a perspective of the overall timeline. How is going to work the first part, so the strategical transition. 3 things I want to talk about. First, there will be some blocks. What are the blocks? Is the main blocks of contents that will be delivering, both from MC side and both from LC side. Then there will be some skills in which we are going to work. So things that can help you to be better VPs during their term. And then there will be a challenge, because for every of the block of content that we are going to deliver, there will be a correlated challenge that we are going to evaluate during Planco. So at Planco, there will be a competition among EBs and among singular VPs of the same commission to understand who was receiving the best transition. Okay, those are the blocks. The PPT is not working very well graphically, but it's fine. And those are the main blocks. So first block this week, and knowing AIESEC, so very general knowledge about AIESEC Way LDM, the AIESEC IntelliPlan and OD model, so today and tomorrow, and what we ask you to do from LC side, to receive from LC side. Doesn't matter that if just VP to VP, or if EB to EB, having 1 or 2 days of transition, but understand which is the culture of your LC and which were the performances of your LC in the last 3 years. Then knowing your product, so depending on the area, there will be a different topics that you're going to touch. And if you ask your current VPs on Moscarelli, we already published the tracking tool with all the topics that we are going to cover in this part, but that will be split by area. And then there will be the part of managing your people, so some trainings about how to manage your people. And what we are going to ask you from LC level is to start managing certain things. So start managing some area meetings, start managing some meetings VPTL, for example. So you practice a bit what we are teaching you. And the last part about sales, there will be still a very general part about sales, so which is the sales flow in general. But what we are going to ask at LC level is that you start selling your product. So you try to approve some meetings, you try to sell some opportunities. Also, you start to manage your stuff. Because it's very important to arrive at the start of your term where you know properly your product. And at the same time, we're going to deliver something like some skill, something about skills that you can need during your term. So basic graphic skills on those instruments, advanced graphic skills, it is Illustrator and Photoshop. I don't know why the PPT fucked up here. Excel, basics and advanced, XFM Podio, and then something about GDPR. I will just ask the responsible for each LC to attend the meeting, or the LCP elect in case. And this will be the challenge that we are going to run. So for every of the block, there is a challenge that we are going to evaluate in Winco. So for the first part, you know, AIESEC, there will be just a quiz. But for the second part, for example, we will ask you to do the evaluation stage. So to do an analysis of your area in the last year or in the last years. And what we are going to give you some guidelines, but we want you to do the best job you can, also by yourself. Because what is going to happen in Planco is that you will be evaluating each other the work you are doing. So inside the commission, okay, this, like, I don't know, that VP did a very cool, a very cool analysis. So it's much more prepared than me in this moment to have a proper planning. So try to do your best, because then you will be evaluating each other. And then the third part in managing people, what we are going to ask you is to try to draft your first tools. So try to understand how do you want to change them, how do you want to improve them, to also there be ready whenever you will start your term. And the last part about sales will be very simple. Try to like have a sales pitch, no? Try to be able to manage the sales of your area. Just this. Of course, this works a lot for operation. For back office area, you will see there is some differences, but we already like send the tools with all the information that you need. And if you have any doubts, you can contact me. Those are the weeks in which we will deliver the webinars. So basically for each week, you see that there is a block of content. And also next week, we are going to release the evaluation stage. And here there is what we are going to do at Planco. So basically we will review the strategical transition, all the blocks we're talking about, and then we will do the strategical plan. What is going to happen after? I don't want to go deeper in the second part of transition, because we will explain you further in Planco, etc. But there will be other blocks of content that we will deliver, more based on sales and synergies. And then we'll start, like especially the shadowing. So the part in which you start managing the else's, and your EB current just support you to do your best. Okay, a look at this. Have a good transition, and if you have any question before Veronica starts her part, it's time to talk. Hello, questions, doubts?
Botta, do we have the PPT? Because I didn't see anything, or if you had the PPT or something.
Ah, cats. See, I was not sharing the PPT for all the time. Thank you. I took 10 minutes for nothing, people.
No, I took notes, but
nothing tragic.
Yes, amazing. See, I was not sharing the screen.
Yeah, go.
I'm a bit an idiot. Yes, now you can see all I was talking about.
But he's very good, no worries. He's very good.
See, thank you, Veronica. Now that you tell it like this, it's even more. Happens. Life happens. So, see, this was the amazing PPT. Anyway, I was talking very randomly. So apparently, I will send you the PPT. Like the PPT is already on Moscarelli. So ask your current. They should be able to send you this PPT. And we can also, I can also post it. Like I can put it in the link of YouTube where you're looking at the video. And then if you have any doubts, you can approach me, because probably you will have at this point. I'm sorry. Anyway, any other doubts? Something else? Like, is there something that you understood out of these 5 minutes of random talk? Wait, I stopped the presentation for 1 second. Everything okay? Va bene, people. So I leave you to the amazing Veronica. Again, for the PPT, look on YouTube at this point. And if you have any doubts, contact me. See you soon. Bye-bye. Share the screen again, because I take it out.
Fine.
See, no, like...
Hello, people. Welcome to the second part of this webinar. That is actually the main part of the webinar. So I'm super happy to see you. We are here. Finally, we are going to tackle the main topic why you are here today. Thank you, Botta, for the introduction. And I hope the transition process is clear, even without the PPTs. Wave. So I know some faces, but not all of you. Anyway, nice to know you. I'm Veronica, TM Director, and I'm here not because of TM, as you can understand, but in general to explain a bit what is AIESEC Way and why, as EBs, it's so important that you understand clearly the AIESEC Way. So the faces that I know that you are not new members. So if you can tell me how long you have been in AIESEC, it would be amazing, so we understand a bit your level of understanding of AIESEC Way. If you want, you can talk, you can write, whatever.
Vabbè, I'm in AIESEC since September of last year, October.
Okay, thank you. March, thank you.
Okay, I've been here for 1 year and a half.
Thank you. Then we have Matteo, 1 month. Okay. Mauri, 1 year. Okay. 1 year. Ah, Marianna, we talked by WhatsApp this morning. Amazing. Other people? We should be done. 1 year. Giulia. Ah, Giulia. Haha. Ciao, Giulia. 1 year. Okay. Cool. So more or less, you have had a lot of time in organization already, most of you. But we also have some VPs that are going to see the recordings that have attended, like they joined AIESEC more or less, I think 1 month ago. So the idea is not simply to explain what is the AIESEC Way, because I think that most of you have received the information already during the process or during Discovery Day or during any other kind of conference. My idea is to go a bit deeper. So whatever kind of question or doubt you may have, just interrupt during the call. It's really not an issue. Like if it's a conversation, it's even funnier than simply one person talking to a screen. Now I will share the PPTs. So yes, we can make sure to make you see this. Can someone please tell me if you see the PPTs? Not in the chat, because now I cannot see the chat anymore.
See.
Amazing.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Cool. So as I was mentioning before, the idea of this webinar is to help you to better understand the importance of the AIESEC Way. So of course we are going to see concepts that I know most of you know. So no worries, people. I'm not here to tell you, let's start from the AIESEC Way because you don't know it. No. I'm aware that most of you know it and know it also very well. I think that actually some of you also deliver session about AIESEC Way, maybe during Discovery Days or during another kind of local conference. But the idea there is now to upscale your understanding and awareness of the importance of the AIESEC Way. Because when you become EB, as you are right now, congrats by the way, in the moment in which you become EB, you become responsible for what the AIESEC Way means. Because you cannot simply, sorry, this is Santiago's WhatsApp, you cannot simply understand the AIESEC Way by yourself, but you need to be able to explain it to other people. And you need to be able to be the face of the organization. Being the face of the organization, it's a concept that is not new to salespeople, but it is not only for salespeople, because actually being the face of the organization means that whatever you're doing in your AIESEC life and also not AIESEC life, you need to be aligned to what the AIESEC Way is proposing. And not because it's a request, but because you truly are connected to the meaning of the AIESEC Way. So I will explain some concepts, but at the same time, I will try to give you my perspective on the AIESEC Way and how much I've tried to interiorize this concept in my personal experience in AIESEC. So we start with the basic things, that it's simply, we are here because understanding the AIESEC Way and what are the leadership qualities and why we talk so much about leadership, why as AIESEC choose leadership as the fundamental solution and not anything else, it's our responsibility. Specifically, again, because now your position in the committee is different and you need to be the models of the committee for the understanding of our purpose. So I really like to explain the AIESEC Way as a compass. In Italian, compass is bussola. For me, the AIESEC Way is the compass that AIESECers use in whatever situation. whatever decision we need to take, is it functional, is it operational, is it whatever, if we don't know where to turn, we understand the AIESEC way, we see where the AIESEC way wants to bring us, and we decide what to do. When we push so much for growth, for more approvals, etc., it's not because we care of the numbers on the scoreboard themselves, just themselves, but we are aware that these numbers are connected to the AIESEC way. So the AIESEC way has been wrapped up in this quite simple image that we can use to better understand it. And the idea here is that you can reconnect all the story of the AIESEC way, why the AIESEC way has been created and why it exists. So we know the story, it's always the same, of course. After the Second World War, a group of young people, they decided that in order not to let events like the Second World War happen, in order not for that to happen again, someone needed to do something. And they decided to take the responsibility to do something about it and to create its organization. And you, as EBIS, are taking the same responsibility. You're taking the same responsibility of building something, not from zero, because something already exists, but you're creating more pipeline for the future to be sure that those kind of events, like the Second World War, are not going to happen again. And if I can also add something, I think that since the beginning of this organization and the birth of the organization, we have never needed AIESEC as much as you are needing it right now for all the social events that are going on around us and in our same country. So yes, for me and for all MC and for all the AIESECers that are managing this, the AIESEC way is the compass. So let's try to understand. Of course, we start with the why. So the first part of the AIESEC way is, why are we doing this? Why should we be supposed to spend our hours and our time delivering leadership experiences and working for AIESEC? Well, the reason is very simple and is the same thing that we keep on repeating, and is we try to achieve peace and fulfillment of mankind's potential. But especially for the ones that joined AIESEC a few time ago, I want to specify that by peace, we do not simply mean absence of war. We mean a situation in which people feel free to express themselves, express their potential, and feel free to be comfortable in a space where there are also people with different backgrounds, different religions, different cultures, whatever. The idea is to create an environment in which people can totally express themselves as who they are, because they know that they are not going to be attacked for that, and that they are going to be respected, and that, of course, they are going also to respect other people in return. Then, of course, we have the how. So how are we going to make sure that we achieve this final goal, that is peace and fulfillment of mankind's potential? Our how, the first thing that can come to our mind is, who is our target? And as AIESECers, our main target is youth. Why youth? Very simply, because we think that young people are the ones with the kind of mindset that can still be shaped in order to make sure that these people are taking care of some things and is not only themselves. So we want to focus on youth, because especially people between 18 and 30 years old are in that range and that part of age and their life in which they are connecting their life of adolescence and their life as adults. In this way, we make sure that we are creating very aware citizens and very aware adults that are going to shape the world with the values that we believe in. And of course, a fundamental part of the how, nothing new, of course, is leadership. Why have we chosen leadership as our main tool to shape our why? Honestly, at the beginning, till my second year in AIESEC, I think I didn't understand why leadership. Why is this and not anything else? First of all, we do not think that leadership is the only solution. We think that leadership is the non-negotiable. So it's like saying is essential, not sufficient. Leadership is the starting point to change the society around us. And by leadership, as you know, we do not simply envision the leader, so the person that is making some other people being the followers, but we have very specific characteristics that we measure in people, or that sometimes we try to measure in people, because of course characteristics are the most difficult thing that we can actually measure with numbers. But in this way, we want to develop leaders that have those specific qualities. And we also believe that it can be developed in anyone. We believe that no matter what, everyone can develop these qualities, because we want to believe that in order to make the world a better place, we need to believe that everyone can change and become better. And this is a non-negotiable. And then, of course, we have the what. Nothing new. I think that some of you also maybe already know the allocation. You are going to directly do this as ME members. The back offices are going to contribute concretely to this what, and is our loved cross-cultural exchanges. So we are developing leadership through cross-cultural exchanges. And sometimes it's very easy to see the connection between exchanges and peace, because we simply do cross-cultural things, so we make people with different cultures know each other. But simply knowing other cultures is not, let's say, only that, but can cause other consequences that can be even much more powerful in order to achieve peace and fulfillment. This is why we have the why, the how, and the what. And the how is the leadership, not the exchanges. I want to underline this concept of why in AIESEC we think about leadership, and why is AIESEC the core business? Why is leadership the core business? Sometimes when I ask people, what is AIESEC doing? People reply, exchanges, which is actually not true, or more than not true, is partial. It's true, we deliver exchanges, but it's not our main product, if you want to look at it in this way. The core business of AIESEC is leadership, and it's unique added value, because there are a lot of organizations around the world that are actually providing exchanges. Think simply about Erasmus, or about EF, or about whatever other kind of organization that we may face. But it's very important for you to understand that Erasmus, for example, is not a real competitor for AIESEC. Erasmus is a competitor for AIESEC in the moment in which people are not truly understanding the value that AIESEC is proposing. Because the core business of AIESEC is leadership. And there is no organization in the world that is providing leadership as we mean it through cultural exchanges. So the main idea is to make you aware that as EBs, you have the responsibility to make sure that you are the face of the organization with your members first, and then of course with the customers, in explaining them that the main face that you need to be for the organization is the face of leadership, not the face of the exchangers. Because the exchanges are simply the what, but the added value of the organization is the how, and is the leadership itself. So we are ensuring that we are delivering something very concrete, that is an exchange abroad, is an experience that you do to develop yourself, of course, but what you're going to develop are the leadership qualities. How does this process happen? Sorry, 1 second. Okay. Sorry, but I was attending regarding logistics. How does this process happen? How do we pass from peace and fulfillment to cross-cultural exchanges, passing in the middle from leadership? So how is it possible that we say that we develop leadership, but what we concretely do are exchanges? This is what is called the leadership development model. So it's the model by which we ensure that we are actually developing leadership throughout exchanges. And it's very simple, as you can see, are very simple images, one after the other. Let's try to understand this journey. So we have an amazing an amazing customer, or an AIESEC member, or whatever person that decides that want to do a cross-cultural exchange. So we have I put the blue member, but of course can be a customer that still is not an AIESEC member. So we have this person that decide, okay, I want to do an exchange. What happens here is that during the exchange, this person is going to receive the standards. And the standards are the things that are non-negotiable during an exchange. So, of course, we have some things like very logistics, like the visa and work permits, the arrival pickup, departure support. We have the insurance, we have the job hours, the working hours, we have the job description. And then, of course, there is the part of the development. That is that thing that is different from a simple exchange. are those kind of standards that are actually allowing the person to develop the leadership qualities. And thanks to the delivery and the fact that the person receives the standards, the person starts what is called the inner and outer journey. And this is simply a moment in which the person is living something in the outside, so he's living an experience during the exchange, delivering the job that he or she is supposed to do, or talking to the people around, whatever. But at the same time, this process changes something in the inner side of the person. So the person, thanks to this challenging experience and thanks to the challenging environment that he's living in, the person is having this personal transformation. And thanks to this inner and outer journey, the person is actually developing in himself or herself the leadership qualities. So you can see how much the exchanges that I was mentioning before are not simply about understanding new cultures. Of course, that is a fundamental part, but it is not the only one. So we have what are the leadership qualities, and I would just like to go a bit deeper in the leadership qualities themselves. And this is the result of the leadership development model. And this is what we mean when we talk about leadership. These four very simple qualities. The first one is being world citizen. So being a world citizen means that I'm a person that actually is interested in understanding what is going on in the world. So very simply, I'm checking the news, or I'm trying not to simply understand what is going on, hearing by gossip, or checking Facebook ads or Twitter, but I'm actually taking responsibility to understand what is going on. And since I'm interested in what is going on, and I believe that I can make a difference in the world, even if for a small part, but I can contribute somehow, I will take the responsibility to do whatever I can as a global citizen, as a world citizen, to actually improve what is around me. And this is the starting point. As you can see, is also in the middle of the leadership qualities, because this is where everything starts from. Then, of course, a person needs to be aware of him or herself. If we are not aware of our personality, our characteristics, we don't know how we can give a contribution to the world. We need to first understand what are our strengths, and we need to focus on them over the weaknesses. So I understand that I'm very good at this, so I can contribute with this to the world. At the same time, I know I'm not good at this other thing, so I will ask for help to another person to cover my weakness. And of course, in order to understand where I can contribute, I need to understand also what are my personal values. If I'm not aware of my values, I don't know what I should expect as a result of me putting efforts in changing the world. Because what change does not mean good or bad. Good and bad are very relatives depending on the values that the person has. And last but not least, the best way that we can contribute to the world to make it a better place is understanding not only what we are good at, but also where we want to put our efforts, so understanding our passions. This is the starting point for the self-awareness and reflection of each one of us. But since we are not alone in this world, we need to understand how to empower others. So if we start from us, and we start from our self-awareness, and we start with our interest in understanding the world issues and taking the responsibility to make this world a better place, we need to involve other people, because alone we can contribute, of course, but not as much as in group. So what about being able to communicate effectively with other people, and not simply with other people in general, but in different environments? So it means, how can I make sure that the way that I'm talking to my parents, and in the way that I'm talking to my friends, and the way that I'm talking to a professor are different ways, because I have different targets. I need to be able to adapt my way of communication to different people. But something that for me is even more important is to understand that one day we need to pass all the things that we are managing to someone else. So we need to be able to pass all the information, the knowledge, the awareness that we are gaining while we are making the world a better place to someone else. In this way, we can ensure the sustainability of the organization itself. So we need to be able, while we are working, to empower other people, to give them knowledge, to give them power also in some things that they are doing, in order for them to learn how to do things and not to do our same mistakes once they are going to be the one managing our same stuff. In this way, we can engage more people to achieve a bigger purpose and to work all together for that. A lot of times during Discovery Days, when I share Discovery Days or something else, I heard that empowering others is about engagement, which is not incorrect, but it's partially true. It's not simply about engagement for the sake of being happy together. It's about making sure that we are able to transmit the same values that we believe in to other people, so that then we can have more people working for the same purpose. And last but not least, the other leadership quality is the solution orientation. How can we make sure that whatever obstacle we face, we believe so much in what we are doing that we are going to overcome it? Once I read this quote that is something like, fear is not lack of courage. Courage is not the lack of fear, but it's the awareness that that thing that we want to achieve is more important than fear itself. And for me, this is basically the solution orientation. It means that we know that we are doing something important, we are doing something that can really change the world, and it's actually changing the world for the better, at least for what we think that is the best. And we need to make sure that we are resilient in front of any challenge, any obstacle that we may face. Resilience is a term that comes from physics. It means that whatever happens to a metal, the metal is going to come back to its original status, and we should be the same. We should be able to adapt ourselves to what is going on, but at the same time be resilient. So no matter what obstacle we may face, we are going to go back to look for the goal and to move on towards the goal. How can we do it? Of course, sometimes overcoming obstacles mean also taking risk and taking decisions that we don't know where exactly are going to end up. We live in a world that is uncertain. Once we were like, my sister, she's 10 years older than me, she was used to study university and then get a job. For our generation is different. Our generation already lives in uncertainty. We don't know what will happen tomorrow to the workplace. But this is just one very small aspect of all the society. All the societies like this is completely uncertain, and we need to be able to get used to live in this kind of society without panicking, but simply being positive, knowing that no matter what, we are going to find a solution. So this is the leadership development model. It's the process by which we are explaining how our organization is able to achieve peace and fulfillment thanks to the delivery of cross-cultural exchanges, because we know that thanks to cross-cultural exchanges, we are developing leadership. These 4 qualities just explained. And these 4 qualities, if all the people around us had these 4 qualities, we believe that we could have already achieved peace and fulfillment of mankind's potential. This is why also we believe that these 4 qualities are possibly developed in anyone, because anyone can be a world citizen, anyone can be self-aware, solution-oriented, and empowering others. The only point is, what is the process that people are actually taking to develop these qualities? And it's our responsibility as management of AIESEC in Italy to make sure that all the people around are aware of the importance of these things and are actually willing to develop this process, so to take an exchange, to go abroad, develop these qualities, come back and make our society, and not only the Italian society, but the world society, a better place. So this is the compass. No matter whatever is the decision we need to take, do we want to open more openings or not? Let's decide. Let's do the AIESEC way. What is the AIESEC way telling us? Of course, let's open those new openings, for example. So let's take decisions knowing that whatever decisions we are taking is actually taking us closer or not closer to the AIESEC way. But we are missing something, and is the who part. So who are the people that we believe should be part of our organization? These people are the ones that are actually having these 6 values. So we have the values of striving for excellence. That is the idea of never being okay with the status quo. Striving for excellence doesn't mean being unsatisfied. I want to underline this. I did mistakes, especially when I was LCP, because I was always unsatisfied with the results. But actually striving for excellence doesn't mean I'm not okay. Striving for excellence means I know we can do better, but anyway, let's celebrate our successes. It means that when I achieve a success, I don't want to stop there. But it doesn't mean that I don't want to be satisfied. So I know that whatever we are doing right now, I want to do better, because I believe that 3,000 exchanges per Italy is not enough to impact the whole country. So we need to do better. But anyway, whatever success we are going to achieve, we are going to celebrate it, because it's a step to go closer and to come closer to achieve the vision and to achieve the making Italy for our country. Then we have demonstrating integrity. And for me, it's a lot about role modeling. It's about coherency. It's about knowing these values and knowing that if we are AIESECers, we are not AIESECers and saying in AIESEC word. It's very stupid to think that there is an AIESEC word and a non-AIESEC word. We are people, and we should be coherent in having the same values when we do AIESEC activities and when we do not. And it also means being role models for the people around us, because I know that if I behave somehow, I'm going to be a model for whoever else is going to be next to me. But especially for you people, you're going to be managing other people, and these people are going to look at you as the point of reference. If you are the first one not understanding these values and being able to live them, especially every single day, these people are not going to be AIESECers that are respecting these values. Then we have activating leadership. We know that leadership is fundamental as a concept, and want to make sure that we engage other people in the committee to strive to develop leadership as much as possible. It's very difficult to measure leadership and to measure the characteristics as much as it's difficult to measure these values, but we know that we can strive for more, and we can make sure that people are better understanding the values, better understanding the qualities, and that they are actually putting them into practice. Then we have enjoying participation. And I want just to say that it's not simply about parties and roll calls and these kind of things. It's a lot about culture, it's true. It's about culture, so it's about understanding that we have, as an organization, our own language sometimes. We have all these acronyms that are funny sometimes to explain to externals. And we have roll calls that are very funny, and we love dancing roll calls, especially during conferences and seeing all the roll calls of the entity. But enjoying participation means I am responsible for what I'm doing, but I know that if I have fun, it's better. And not simply because we are young and wild and free, but because we know that living in a positive environment, living in an entity that is not transmitting negativity, but is transmitting positivity for whatever we want to achieve, is the best way to live in an organization. But also enjoy participation doesn't mean that we are not, that we don't like stress or whatever. Stress is bad in a moment in which it's only negative. But we need to understand how we can merge stress and positivity, because stress is not something simply I'm stressed to deliver an exam, for example, but it means pressure because we feel the pressure of wanting to do more, because we understand the importance of doing more, but we also need to understand how to create this sense of urgency in a good way, in a positive way, a way that it's, guys, let's do more because we know it's important and we want to do it, not because we have to do it. Then we have living diversity, and I think it's the easiest to explain and is the most intuibile. It's simply, we understand that we are a lot of people in this world and that everyone is different, and we understand and not judge people by the first impression, but we understand the differences in terms of culture, religion, gender, whatever, sexual orientation, whatever comes to your mind. But living together means understanding what are the common values, what is the common floor on which we stay together, and then from there we start. We understand we are whole humans and that we want to respect each other and strive to communicate with each other and to understand each other better every single day more. And last but not least, we have acting sustainably. Also about this, sometimes I hear some misunderstandings. Acting sustainably is not about doing the raccolta differenziata or about the environment just itself. It's a lot about also the environment, but the environment is a very specific concept. Acting sustainably is way more about what we are doing with the resources of the organization and with the world around us. we want to act sustainably means that we want to let the next generations having more resources than the one that the previous generation left us. Because we know that if we want the generation to become bigger in the future, more resources are needed. And this is why we need to make sure that if we take a decision, it's a long-term foresight by which we understand how this decision is going to impact the next generations. So these are the values, and this is the AIESEC way. I hope I've been able to explain you how much is important for you as EB elected to understand the AIESEC way deeper and deeper and deeper, and to make it yours. Not simply repeating these concepts because you were used to do it during an OPS or a lead moment or whatever, but because as an EB, now you are the face of the organization even more. Not simply as a sales member that is talking to a partner, but as an EB that is creating a new generation of AIESECers. You have the power of shape a new organization, a new generation of AIESECers. And if you are not aware of how much responsibility this takes, or how much you need to be connected to the AIESEC way, this is going to create a generation that could have been better. So this is why we decided to give you this hour during which we could have discussed the topic. So before stopping sharing the screen, simply I would like to remind you that tomorrow there is the second webinar at 5 p.m. about OD model and AIESEC in Italy plan. So it's a way to make sure that not only LCPs are understanding these two very, very important tools of the entity, but that also you are understanding them. Because a lot of things that need to be pushed for the sustainability of the organization or for the growth of the organization are present in the OD model. And actually, the AIESEC in Italy plan is what we as MC are proposing, and not simply because we are the MC, but because we are the responsible for the overall management of the entity, and we want all together to make you aware of what are the next steps that we envision for the organization, so that we all together can make them be concrete. So now we can do like this. I can stop sharing. Ole. So hello people back. And I know we said a lot of things that probably most of you knew, but I hope that now things are clearer. Is there anyone that has or a question regarding what I've said, or a different interpretation of the AIESEC way or any other concept that I was sharing with you? If it's no, say no, or let me just simply know. So there are two options. Or you are not hearing because I don't see even the no, like everything is clear, someone is smiling, yay! Okay, cool, it was clear. Yes, the AIESEC way, Veronica, come on, should I really have questions? Thank you, Matteo, for replying. Okay, I'm aware these concepts are very basic, guys, but never underestimate how much you should not simply be aware of what is going on, but you should be able to explain the AIESEC way as the simplest thing ever to the new members, because now you're responsible for them. Again, you're going to be responsible for the new generation that is coming. So new generation is coming, quote. But make sure that you have everything clear for this. And I just wanted to do a very last sharing. I know that I've already talked a lot, but I really care about this topic. Not simply because the AIESEC way is important because it's the AIESEC way, but because sometimes we underestimate the importance of it simply because we see it everywhere. So it becomes like obvious. But the AIESEC way is not obvious. First of all, it was not like that since the beginning. We have changed the AIESEC way. And for me, the best part, I don't know if you ever saw it, but there is a toolkit. So there is a PPT with the official explanation of the AIESEC way done by AIESEC International. For me, the best part of that document is in one of the first pages when it's written very clearly that the AIESEC way can be changed. And for me, this is the most amazing thing. Because if this means that the previous generations are not preventing the new ones to be able to change whatever they want to change in the future. Sure, I can send it. We can send it in the output with this link. because now I should find it. But it's simply the official document, and it's very cool. There are also way more explanations on why those qualities for leadership has been chosen. They have not been chosen like this, looking at how the wind was going that day, but because it's been done analysis of the society and the global society. So it's very, very interesting in that sense. But for me, the best part is the freedom that each generation is giving us or giving to other generations in the future to change what is the purpose of the organization. And in the end of the day, guys, it's not important that you remember every single word of that file. What is important that you understand your personal connection with the AIESEC way. If you're doing AIESEC, I can understand can be for personal growth, it can be for professional growth, it can be for, I have no clue, for friendship, for career, whatever. And all these reasons are super okay. But if you do not understand the importance of the AIESEC way and the connection with the AIESEC way, you cannot truly live an AIESEC experience. Because all the other things that I mentioned before are sort of side effects of AIESEC, very important side effects, but still not the first thing. For me, being able to understand that the AIESEC way, and the reason why every time, every day I come to the office and I work here, and I've worked for 4 years at the local level, has always been because I believe that this world needs better citizens. We need citizens that are more aware of what we are doing. What the hell is going on with our political decisions when acting sustainably is never on top of mind of people? We are never planning resources to be more for the next generations, for example, because we only look for decisions in the short term. And for me, it's just a very, very small example of how much I think that we should not underestimate AIESEC way, because one day we are going to be there outside in a workplace, and it's going to be up to us to decide if we want to be AIESECers also in the workplace. So live these values and these, put into practice leadership qualities also in the workplace or not. In my opinion, especially if you are EB elected now, you should be aware of this and be sure that you understand these values that are not fundamental only for discovery days or for conferences, but for the whole life that you have in front of you. So take this amazing opportunity that is being EB and develop these qualities in yourself and in the people around you as much as possible. This is my augurio for you, my wish, I think it's in English. Thank you very much for being here. Is there anyone that has questions, doubts? Veronica, stop talking. Ta-da. I think it's the last one, but you are too shy to say it or too polite. Thank you for being polite. I think we are done. So see you tomorrow. And guys, apply to Planco because applications are out. They are out since yesterday. Book your tickets as soon as possible. You're going to get cheaper tickets. It's way better for you, no? It's not for me, it's for you. Save money. And see you at Planco. It's going to be an amazing experience. We really are already preparing stuff. Flavia, the conference manager, is super excited for this. And we cannot wait to see all the commissions together and to work together for a better AIESEC in Italy. So thank you very much, people, and see you super soon. Ciao! Thank you, thank you. I will send the file with the output. Bye-bye, bye-bye.
Ciao.
Ciao! Thank you for talking. It's amazing to hear something. Ciao!
Ciao, Vero.
Ciao!
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Ciao, Vero.
Ciao! I don't know who is talking. Ciao!
Vero?
Giulia?
Sì,
Ciao!
sì. Ciao! Senti, sono un po' con Gabriele.
Ciao, Vero.
È un po' impanicato per diverse cose che ti deve chiedere quando ti può parlare.
Sì, ok. Can I stop the recording? It's better?